Hey Alex, what's going on, man? This is nice. Can you hear me?
Hi, Neville.
How you doing? This is nice.
Hold on, hold on. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you clearly. This is nice. Shells, this is beautiful. That bonsai plant is my absolute favorite.
Yeah, really?
I've had it everywhere. Yes. I love it. I love it.
It looks good.
Phenomenal. It
Definitely.
looks good. It looks good. Offers a little lamp on the table. This is all right. All right.
Well, I'm trying.
That's good. That's great. That's great. All right. I'm glad you're having fun with it. That's like the first and foremost. Kung Tao was here. I think he jumped out. Let's go into the conference room
Yeah, sure.
because I put the
Mm-hmm.
Google Meet up there
Okay.
so anyone can join. Let's go. Isn't it?
Are you
You're
there?
right here. Yeah, my bad.
Okay. All right.
All right. So in the chat, you should see I put the Google Meet link. So this is what I mean in terms of someone being a moderator.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever it is that doesn't have the ability to do anything in frame,
Mm-hmm.
because whether their system is or they're mobile and it's not going to be as not work well as well,
Mm-hmm.
they can jump into a Google Meet no problem, and their moderator can be the one that now makes sure that that discovery call is happening between them and whoever it is that they're talking to, but there's still a screen share happening within the frame, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, in let me just make sure show you what I mean. See what I mean?
I can see your screen right now, right?
Right. So in if what you're looking at is that's what the Google Meet. That's what I'm sharing on Google Meet.
Oh, okay.
So what we'd be sharing is an off it's be this view right here
Mm-hmm.
where it's like that person has their camera over here, the other person has their camera over there,
Mm-hmm.
and they can both look at my screen share in the Google Meet and see each other at the same time. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. It makes sense. It makes sense.
You see what I'm saying? So the whole point of what I'm doing and what this is to use the resources to make these small little precision things that make everything so seamless, it's unforgettable.
Mm-hmm. I got it. But I have a few questions. I don't know. Maybe I have to
Yeah,
try.
yeah, yeah.
I have to try to do it because I was trying last week and I realized like, do I need two screen to do it?
It's ideal.
Yeah, that's why I saw.
Yeah. It's definitely it's ideal because multiple screens are gonna allow you to do multiple things. You can screen share something on this one. You can
Mm-hmm.
be working on this one while you're looking at what's going on this one. Like that's what this is for. Have trying to get everything done on one screen is gonna be difficult unless you're doing something where it's really only the screen recording that you're
Yeah.
doing. You know what I mean? Similar, and Vince can be a good example of that because like when
Mm-hmm.
he's working on something in Canva or he's working on Gmail, whatever or whatever it is, whatever platform, Jotform,
Mm-hmm.
right? He's screen sharing on his. He showed you how to do that, right?
He showed me how to do it, but as I said, I realized I need to screen. I tried to do it on this room. There was nobody here, but I was trying to
But let's
practice.
do it. Let's do it right now. Let's see what's going on. Let's go to this back wall right here,
All
and
right.
let's see what your screen share capabilities are.
So, all right. For this, I can do that. This is just like the regular screen share, right? This is just my screen.
There you go. Okay,
And
perfect.
then I realize, let's say somebody, I want to pull up someone in Google Meet or Zoom. This is when I realize I need another screen. Can you can I use your screen on the Google Meet? Or let me pull
Yeah.
up another one. Okay.
No, you can use that one. Go ahead. So go right into go click on the link
Mhm.
and go into the Google Meet that I'm in.
Okay.
All right. So you see how we're in both. So now I muted myself in the frame in Google Meet and brought myself back into audio in frame.
Yeah, my bad. Can you hear me right now?
Oh, I was
Hear you?
trying to log in, and
Hey, Kantao, if you got are you're on your computer?
yes, I was trying to use that on my computer, like, and then I was trying to log in and log back. So
Got it. No worries. You're in now. You can hear us clearly. So in the chat, you'll see that there's a link for the Google Meet. I want you to go into so Alex, put the invite link for the Google Meet that you're in. Actually, no, we're in the same one. Sorry. Yeah, look in the chat. You'll see a go into that one.
it's in the lab chat or in somewhere else.
No, it's in the frame chat, the one we're in right now.
I don't actually see that. It's on Google or Slack.
No. Like, okay, so we're in Better World right now. We're in frame right now, right? Yeah, chat right there next to the people. It says chat. If you look on the top left, This is where just there you go.
I think I already.
Perfect. Just mute yourself in the Google Meet. And now I want everybody to look over this one. See what I'm saying now?
Yeah.
So now we all have our cameras on. We can see each other. So if there's when there's a discovery call, this is what it looks like. You have the Kung Tao, if it's you, it's whoever it is you're meeting. Alex, he's meeting you, and then you have admin right there that's now doing this screen share and having that screen share up in the frame so you can see what's going on in the frame. Everybody has, you understand what I'm saying, right?
Mm, so just to make sure, like, let's say somebody else is having a discovery call.
Yes.
There should be another one of us here, or just me and that person.
Yes. So it can just be you and that person.
Mm-hmm.
What this option is for
Mhm.
is if you and or that person has difficulty in frame because you
Okay.
don't have the right system requirements for it.
Okay.
Understand what I'm saying? Everybody has the right system requirements, or should at least, to be able to operate in Google Meet
Yeah.
without a problem,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm.
So introducing first, starting in the Google Meet first is easy for most people versus just starting directly in the frame, which is why if you saw the email that I sent in response to Palmi,
Mm-hmm.
I CC both of you guys on that so you can see.
Mm-hmm.
All of this is about, not all of this, but it's about introductions and seeding things to make it easier for,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like it's much easier to introduce someone to something that they've gotten glimpses of versus just throwing them in there right away, right?
That's
Does that
right.
make sense?
Yep.
So
So
the
should we just set like the Google Meet on our Calendarly so they could just like we could just invite
correct,
in Google Meet?
correct,
Okay.
correct, correct, exactly. And that Google Meet is your first line of Meet, right? The goal is to go from the Meet into the frame.
Okay. Makes sense.
Makes sense, but they first have to have the capacity to be able to handle the frame.
Mm-hmm.
Make
Yeah.
sense?
Makes sense. Yeah.
Because you want it perfect. So what you'll see, what you see, and as you guys are going through, and Kung Tao, we went over a bit of this. The each particular platform that you have, each particular operational resource that you have, those are freemium models, right? Like you have they start off as free, but as you need more features, you have to pay for that service,
Mm-hmm.
right? So Google Meet right now, it's a free service, but if you want the AI transcription or you want to record, you have to pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
Gmail, it's free, but if you want Gmail for workspace, where you get the other workspace at your
Mm-hmm.
features, you have to pay for that, the domain features and so forth and so on, right? So what I need and want each of you to get a better understanding of, and this is what we mentioned in terms of Alex, and this is in your realm of and both you Kung Tao as well, what you're really looking to figure out,
Mm-hmm.
what business development looks like from an operational standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
right? And what that looks like across different industries,
Got it.
because there's a baseline of what has to happen regardless of the industry,
Mm-hmm.
right? So with Palmi, she's hospitality. It doesn't matter what industry she's in, that's service. That's high level service,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the better you are at diffusing a high level frantic situation with smiles and giggles, then that's executive level, director level compensation. Does that make sense?
Got it.
being able to put out fires before anyone else sees that, that's executive level compensation. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
And that's what this internship gives each of you an opportunity to do, which is why you rotate roles, primary and support each week. You each see what responsibilities are of your team, what communication looks like across different departments, and an opportunity of what support looks like across different departments. Because regardless of what has to happen, regardless of whatever business that you go into, whatever job you have, these things are going to be happening on the back end in administration every day.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Got it.
Regardless of what your job is, no matter what company you go to, the things you learn here
Mm-hmm.
will be going on the back end every day.
Mm-hmm.
So the better you understand these systems, the better you understand these platforms, the better you understand how to navigate them, the better you understand how to communicate them appropriately, the better you understand how to navigate someone else through them,
Mm-hmm.
the higher your value in the open market of how much should they pay you. Does
Got
that
it.
make sense?
Makes sense.
Tongue out. Does that make sense?
Yes, like we have to understand how to like use these like the tools efficiently or something.
Exactly. Exactly. Vince, and I'll always use Vince as an example, which is why he's your intern, because he's gone through a semester of it where he's now graduated to a point where he can now do a lot more than he was able to when he first started.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Got it. Yeah.
He sent you guys the code. He sent you guys the how to use Gmail. He had to learn how to use Gmail. People pay constant contact hundreds of dollars a month for the things he can do in Gmail for free
Mm-hmm.
or with the workspace account.
Mm-hmm.
That's how each one of you are gonna have different platforms that are assigned to your role that are gonna that are gonna be a resource for your role to succeed. So everybody is gonna have Slack because that's communication, right? Some of you are gonna have Jotform for learning how. Some of you are gonna have Jotform for forms. Some of you are gonna have other things. Some of you are gonna have Calendly for making sure meetings are scheduled properly across different channels, right? So your Calendly is free, right? But when you want to have a group meeting where you want to have multiple people sign up for a certain date and time, that's a paid for service,
Mm-hmm.
right? You want to have multiple meeting spaces available at or calendars, booking services at the same time. That's a paid for service, right? Um, Alex, your LinkedIn is up and running. You're at a premium level.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the trial you're on right now?
Not really. This is
Or
just
you're paying for it, right?
this is a student thing. If
Let's say it
I'm
again.
a student thing they give me as a
Student, perfect.
yeah.
No, perfect. But again, paid for a service,
Yeah.
right? So, and I believe that if it's available to you, that should be available to you as well, Kung Tao, right? So these are things that you guys
How did you
don't.
do that? Like get a premium with your student status?
It's not from the school. It's from Microsoft. If I remember correctly, Vince, I gave the link to Vince, and Vince sent it to you
Mhm.
like a few
Okay.
weeks ago.
Yes, I was trying to see if I can add my like student email to to my lab linking account, but I'm not sure like if I
You
could.
absolutely can. You can have multiple emails. It's just whichever one you set to the primary and whichever one you have public facing.
Mm-hmm.
But forward that over to Kung Tao as well,
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm not sure if I
Alex.
could do that, so
You can, but I'm asking Alex to forward you that link so you can get that. So because what I explained to Kung Tao, the other day, and Alex, and again, you'll understand where I'm coming from with this. Those little things are a big deal, right? Because that feature, that premium feature, to send the premium message to a multitude or unlimited amount of people, unless you're making sure that you're sending, 10 messages a week, is it worth the $65 a month?
But I don't know, mine is kind of limited. I see like I can only send 3 messages sometimes. I have to check it out again.
Well, we'll triple check, right?
Yeah.
We'll triple check for everyone, because by I want everyone by next week to have their LinkedIn set up properly, because everyone should be able to get access to that trial for premium messages, right?
Mhm.
And because I want you to see what the difference is between having access and not having access,
Mhm.
right? Because it allows you to do a lot more. When you can see who viewed your profile, you can reach back out. Hey, I saw you were looking in. Let's have a quick conversation. You follow up clean, you follow up clear, you research people, you research things. Like, it allows for a lot if you use it. And like I said, the Contao is just like the gym, right? $50 a month is no big deal if you're getting to go 5 times a week.
Mhm.
Yes.
But if you go once a week, $50 a month, was it worth it?
No.
Equinox, 250, 300 a month,
Yeah, definitely
320 a
not
month.
worth it.
You understand what I'm saying? Like 300 a month, is it worth it unless you're going 5 times a week?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
If
It's
you go
not.
5 times a month, is that 300 a month? You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with the platform and resources that you guys have access to. Your email, your Calendly, your LinkedIn, your Jotform, your Canva, your Slack, like your Google, your Workspace, all of those things are freemium services where Lab pays for them for you so you can operate, right? It's the same thing when you go into any company. They're going to be resources that you get from the beginning, from day one, before they've paid you a dime.
Yeah,
They're
Yeah.
paying for resources for you to be able to make money for them and yourself. Does that make sense?
I think so.
So you have to be able to make it make sense for them when they're looking at the cost that it costs to operate you. So
Yes.
your P&Ls are going to be an overall, right? You have an overall P&L for your chapter, and each of you have individual P&Ls for your role.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Yes.
Great. So, what's been launched, right? Vince wasn't able to come in today, so some of the stuff that he had prepared, I'm gonna leave for him to be able to do that. But let me just give you guys an update of where and what things are. So, you guys saw that social media campaign was getting launched today. That got
I
launched
saw
today.
it.
We have saw that, Alex. I saw you saw that also. We have campaigns that are set up for the 12-week webinar series. We have campaigns that are set up and then we have a 12-week webinar scheduled, campaigns that are scheduled for that. And we have 16 weeks of the social media campaign that's scheduled. And it's across Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, post vary, but they are strategically targeted to what you guys will see on the calendar are the topic points for and the target topic points for each of the webinars that happen on a week-to-week basis.
Yes.
Because our audience, go ahead.
I was just trying to see some professional from LinkedIn, but I'm not sure how to reach out to them right now.
Well, the first thing that you're going to do is reach out to your warm contacts, right? And I know Vince asked me about the introductions to the warm contacts. That email that I sent, that was your introduction to the warm contacts,
Yeah,
because
but
they were all BCC'd, if not emailed, or if not contacted directly and given heads up. So they're waiting for your response. So if you haven't reached out to them already, reach out to them. And I wouldn't pick and choose. I pick and choose who you want to speak to, definitely, but it's in your best interest to reach out to as many, if not all, because you don't know where and what their times are going to be. And you still have a deadline on how many you have to contact and speak to on a week to week target. Does that make sense?
yes, but I'm just wondering like how to reach out to them on LinkedIn.
So if you don't have, you can just send them. You can just send them a message. If you don't have your premium set up, you can just start your free trial right now and start sending them a message. But in terms of what to actually send them, that's what the mock
The doctrine.
conversations were.
Oh,
And that's what, yeah, exactly. And the leadership doctrine, because that's where that mock conversation that Vince sent out came from. Leadership doctrine tells you exactly how to reach out, whether you're using, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is just the professional one, so we use that as a baseline. But every detail of how to reach out is there in terms of a template. Stick as close to the template as possible in the beginning, especially as you want to learn how to expand from it. But Alex, did you want to add something to that?
to say it again.
Did you want to add anything to that?
To what you just said about doctrine.
Yeah.
Everything is kind of pretty clear. You got the link inside for warm and cold contact, and also you have the email side. You just copy and then put the name of the person, just some customization, and just paste. And you send. You wait. After 2 days, if I remember correctly, you follow back to see with the same template, another template. I mean, in the same doctrine. Edit, copy, paste, and then if they don't answer after 7 days, you have another one. Everything is kind of clean the document. But I have a few other questions though.
Sure.
So
Just really quickly, hold on. Kung Tao, did I answer your question?
He just say that we have to like follow
doctrine.
the doctrine and using the template and making some adjustment
Yeah.
based on like their
Yes.
efficiency or something, and
Yes.
sending like multiple professionals so to make sure that
Correct.
like
Also, did you update your LinkedIn experience yet?
linking what linking
The experience. So do Alex, can you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, more because this is again time that you guys can use together. Can you help Kung Tao because your LinkedIn is set up properly,
Mm-hmm.
right? Can you help him and walk him through where he needs to update? Because I need for you guys to have, because I'm gonna give you guys the the skills that you have, the skills that you put there, you, the testimonials that each of you are going to have are going to be are getting are going to be coming from the discovery calls and coming from the contacts that you make, right?
Mm-hmm.
From the engagements that you have. You guys are CC'd on emails. The moment you start back engaging with emails, there's a very good chance that that person that you were talking to is going to give a testimonial on what that interaction was like with you,
Mm-hmm.
right? So having your details and credentials set up properly is going to be crucial to making sure that those communications come across great, right?
okay
So your LinkedIn should have look at Alex's LinkedIn, look at Vince's LinkedIn. You want to make sure that your experience is there. You want to make sure that you have skills and things that you would like for others to endorse,
Mm-hmm.
right? And in those skills and things that you like others to endorse, those should be coming from the responsibilities on that 5 year and that right after graduation um, job responsibilities that we're talking about. Because over the course of the semester, you're going to be touching on those, working on those, going to be working where you're going to be looking for people to give feedback on how well you did those. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
yes.
Yeah. I have a few questions, Evo. A lot of
I
Go
don't
questions.
ahead.
understand the experience, but I just don't think I have like so much experience to add on that. So I'm not sure.
Oh no, so we'll touch on that in a moment. But just to give you a quick insight, experience is really only putting the your current and past experiences. So right now, your current experience is you're an intern at Leaders Are Born.
Mhm.
So if you look at Alex's experience on his LinkedIn, if you look at Vince's experience on his LinkedIn, you'll see an example of what you should have on yours.
Okay.
Alex, go ahead. What was your questions?
Um. So my question is, remember when I saw the PS 57 activation program.
Mm-hmm.
I have a few questions about that. What
True.
I was looking at the email and some document on the email you sent. I saw it's like when I go on the jot form, it's like a dance program for the kids, right?
Yes.
And so what will I have to do like to help this program? Like because I see I was BCC or CC on the email, and if they reach out to me,
Was your name mentioned?
yeah,
What did it say?
they said let me see it exactly what it
You
was.
know what? You know what? Let's use this as a good example.
Yeah.
You can pull up. You can screen share right here in either in the frame or in the meet. Um, pull up the email that was
So you can look at the other side on your back. Can you see it
perfect. Yes, I can.
on your back, right? Okay, hold on. Let me make sure
Yes.
that. Hold on the first email.
Oh, do you know what? Like, should we?
Alright. So
Uh,
do you see the education
Kung
director?
Tao, hold on. Kung
okay.
Tao, hold on one moment. Yeah, Alex, I see it. Education director intern.
Help coordinate with schools for program scheduling and
Mm-hmm.
activation.
And you have your LinkedIn as producer, right? Because that's your role right now. That's your role right now. So I love it. Your role and your title is going to change over the course of the next few weeks,
Uh-huh.
right? Next few months. But it's all going to be based on what it is you do, and just like Kung Tao, and you're doing the exact same thing, which is phenomenal. You're asking questions, right? You're reading information and you're asking questions. So that's important because it's the only way you're really going to understand, where and what things are. So taking the initiative to click in things and look deeper, that's important. So you notice where all the links go. Have you clicked on all of those already?
Yeah, all these. This is for
Okay, perfect.
yeah.
Perfect. So as Ed, what that coordination looks like for you
Mm-hmm.
is the communication with the schools, because you're the education part, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. So the communication with the schools. So speaking to administrators, speaking to support staff to ensure that the programs at the schools and the lab instructors at the schools, just making sure that the relationship with the schools are solid, right? That's that person's job,
Mm-hmm.
the education part. So your communications on being with those is now making sure that scheduling for programs is on point. The instructors, they're responding with their attendance on point, like meaning. And one main thing is that open and close, and as you've seen the back and forth with what that looks like, is because you know we want to make sure that our attendance is done properly,
Mm-hmm.
right? We want to make sure that our programs are done properly. And the best way for us to do that is just a very standard: you check in when you get there, you check out when you're done. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's all that we're looking for from our instructors.
All right.
So the form that we give, which is why again we use job form so heavily, is because it allows us to get a timestamp and details of when they got there and a timestamp of details when they leave. So a picture in the beginning and a picture in the end, because we want proof you were there.
Mm-hmm.
That we have something on the back end of the form that has the GPS locator, so we know whether or not you're actually at a location,
Mm-hmm.
right? But we want to go through all of that. Just send us a picture of the kids while you're there. Send a picture when you're gone. Simple and done, right?
Oh.
We've elevated that into the video part of it
But they couldn't do it.
because Say it again.
But they said they couldn't do the videos because
Right,
Yeah.
because and that's what we're going through right now because I just need to speak with them and let them understand what and how we're doing it because the way that we do things, nothing that we're doing is wrong.
Mhm.
It's just that we're doing it differently and in an order that they're not used to expecting
Mhm.
because it makes too much sense. Does
So
that make sense?
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
So do we have to ask them like whether they are like allow you to record the video for the conversation?
So that's a given, and when you're having the conversation itself, like then that's in the doctrine as well, where it says, this call is being recorded,
Okay.
so on. It's recorded for quality and training purposes. The call we're on right now, I pushed record to right after Alex and I started. I think we were getting started. I make sure I pushed it there because
Mhm.
I forgot the first few minutes. But what happens is you miss the opportunity, especially to as you see the little thing popping up saying it's transcribed. You don't like following up with notes are so much better when you have something that's telling you exactly what was said.
Mm. So-
Right? It just makes things easier. But to my point, Alex, with the process of how it works, right? The email. So when our instructors, they get a lab email, right? The same way you guys, because they're hired. We hire them, right?
Mhm.
So they get a lab email. When they get that lab email, they have the same opportunities, which is the same access to the Gmail, the Google Drive, right? So all they need to do is when they take their content, whether it's pictures or video, they just need to save it to their drive and that's already shared with us. So it's just a notification that automatically goes that something was uploaded. That notification goes right into Slack to say, okay, such and such was done.
Mhm.
The same way a notification comes into Slack to say the form was done.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
So we keep everything super streamlined on the back end, right? So we have all of our redundancies in place.
Okay.
On the front end, what we're looking at from them is that where we make it somewhat interactive because you have to do a road anyway, right? You have to ask who's here, who's not here. They can give you a handed attendance list, but it is what right. So in the time that you're spending asking, doing that attendance, if you actually pull up the form real quick.
Right here.
Yep. So let's do a walkthrough, right? See the date? I'm just gonna give you kind of like a baseline on how it works. You can't do anything there. You can't touch it. It's a read-only format for that, right? Now select the program. For this particular school, we have twice a week that we're going.
Twice a
Right,
week?
we have the lab read along. We have twice a week that we're going.
Mm.
One of the weeks we have Notes in Motion as the partner. Now I'm going to give you a lot of high level information right now, okay? Because you guys got to understand this. Notes in Motion, we had the opportunity to book them for twice a week for this campaign because it's in the Bronx, right? Well, they would have done it, but it would have cost us $12K to have them do Monday and Wednesday. It would just cost us $6K for them to do just one day, right?
Okay. For how
It
many
costs us, say it again,
How many months? Yeah.
for the 16-week program,
Okay.
okay?
Mhm.
So for that 16-week program, and I can show you guys, what their invoice and their their order look like, right?
Mhm.
They wanted 6K, so they wanted 12K. So I was like, okay. First time partnering with them, I'm like, let's just do the 1 day a week,
Mhm.
right? Because it would be better for me if I can get the 2 days a week because then I wouldn't have to worry about heading over to the Bronx, right? But let me do 1 day a week, right? So let's start the partnership off good, right? But at the same time, let me cut my cost a little bit where I'm not because the work order is for 22K,
Mhm.
right? So out of 22K, if I book them for twice a week, that would have been 12K out of that. I'd have been left at 10K.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had to do anything because I would have paid for everything.
Mhm.
right? I wouldn't have to lift a finger or left a dime. I'd have walked away with 10K as a profit. But I said, you know what? I still want to put some activation and implementation into this school because it is the first time that lab is in this school as well, right? So you have to think strategically about that. If I pay 12K and let them do everything, they were in the school, not lab.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Make sense?
what you are saying is that we have to discuss about the budget, like about this campaign.
Say it again.
Oh, what we say about the 12K and like it's about like how much does it cost for them to?
Well, this conversation is geared more towards the conversations Alex is gonna have, right? So I want you to hear it and get an understanding of it, but don't mix it with. That's why you guys are different pods, right? Because there's gonna be different levels of the conversation that you have for different aspects of it, and they're gonna cross reference a lot of times. But you have to be really strong with what your role and what your pod and what your part is, which is what's gonna give you the confidence to do it better. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because you can only be confident when you feel like you know what you're talking about.
Definitely.
Right. So that's why I'm really, really adamant and happy that you guys are asking questions, because you can't know what you're talking about if you're not sure. Right.
I'm
So you
just
gotta
not
ask.
sure, like what this means. So
Yeah, I'm explaining that all now. So thank you for being patient with me as I go through it. There's a lot of information, and I want to convey it in a way that's not overwhelming. But at the same time, I don't want to downplay the importance of things so they just get glazed over. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
yes.
Perfect. So because whoever is gonna get Jotform as a platform, knowing that little detail of making today's date a read-only format where no one can touch anything, that's a big deal, because that's what allows us to now have a timestamp of when this form was filled out without interference from anyone trying to tamper with it. Make sense? So select the program. You have the read along dance and notes in motion. So what I did was I did 1 day of notes in motion, and I did 1 day of labs read along and dance program, which is where we have either an instructor or a university student that goes in and they do read along. They do a creative wordplay with the kids. Let them pick a bunch of words, and then they create a story out of that, and then they get to create a dance program from that story. Right?
Is it Ryan, right?
This is what Ryan's doing, right?
Okay.
This is what Ryan's doing, right? And that's Labs program, right? So Ryan, we pay them 2,000, 1,000, depending on where and what it is, right? Not 6,000. You understand what I'm saying?
It's less cost.
So right, exactly. So had this been a little bit more prepared with the handshake and the Fordham and Monroe and the other schools in the Bronx kind of already have our leadership, have our ads and our applications, we would have had a few applicants from there where it would have cost $2,000 to get people to go down the block, and that would have been a 20K profit.
Yeah.
That now I could have spent another 5K in giving those 2 people additional resources to make it awesome.
Yeah. So that's my question. Why did you go with Notion and Notes in Motion instead of 2 lab instructor, or just 1 lab instructor for 2 days and paying less?
Strategy, my good friend. Great question. Great question. Notes in Motion is in over 95 schools. This is our first partnership.
Got it.
So we do well with Notes in Motion. They're going to introduce us to other schools.
Perfect. That's good.
We know more.
Definitely, that's a good strategy.
That 6K was a great, no problem if it's going to get 525K.
It's like an investment down the line.
Exactly.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Makes sense. So when
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So open attendance, close attendance, right?
Mm-hmm.
What that means. I explained that a little bit, but open attendance, right? That's the very, very beginning of it. And what I did was to ensure that just because through the partnership, right, they don't have a lab email, right? So they don't have their lab email connected to their lab Calendly, which connects to their Google Drive, which connects. See what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of things I don't have that they don't have in order for it to still make it a seamless transition. So what I did was I edited so they're able to take the picture and or take the video, right? Depending on what they need to do, open or close, right? And then show them how to actually share that with us.
Mm-hmm.
How to
So the
share?
way that the form looks, the further the form works out, right? And remember this now because this is something that you guys in the Kung Pao, this is something you're gonna be working with. The staffing for our program, majority of that staffing comes from student interns
Okay.
and young professionals,
Mhm.
right? Because what the majority of our staffing, and that's why we need the support, right? Because we offer opportunities for them to be chaperones for our field trips. We offer them to be media and support for all of our programs, which means they only have to show up and they're the ones that are taking this opening attendance roll call video, closing attendance picture, and some media content over the course of the session while they're helping with whatever it is they're helping with that particular session. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yes.
And how we make sure we connect that seamlessly now, that's just a student with a camera, right? Anyone can do that, doesn't matter the major. So if we have a program where we have healthcare, so we have doctors talking to students, if we have a real estate person talking to students, if we have a lawyer talking to students, if we have an accountant talking to students, this is where we can have a student in each one of those industries in each one of those fields that are now helping support that particular instructor or that particular mentor that's speaking to those students about that particular industry because that's what they do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Makes sense.
So now everything worked out well because that accounting major spoke to an accountant on LinkedIn, invited them to come speak to a school. They can't make it in person. They're speaking through a video call, and the student is right there, and everything is great.
Mm-hmm.
That accountant now gets credit. You understand what I'm saying? And we take it to the realist. We take it to your side, Kuntao. If it's a realtor, right? Let's take it where there's multiple layers of levels. And Alex, you'll understand this from marketing side. And again, I'm gonna give you guys a lot, but I need you to understand it all happens whether you're doing it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Whether you grasp it or not, it's all happening anyway. So the point here is to give you the information so you can see what's happening behind the scenes
So
that moves things.
okay.
So, Neville,
Yes.
do you have a document of the program PS57?
Yes.
Can you send it to me, please, so I can read it along and get all the insights?
Yeah, absolutely. Just go back to the form. Let me just quickly
Okay.
not go off on too much of a tangent. So the support staff there, right? That's what that's supposed to be,
Mm-hmm.
right? The details here. So, and when you scroll down, scroll down. The attendance is here,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
It's once we get the attendance, and this is where Alex, you come in because getting the attendance from the school before that first day that we're there is important. We need to know what kids are going to be activated in the program, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can then create a standard attendance list for them so we can then just click off who's where, who's not.
So
Right?
these are the kids, right?
These are the kids, right? Any kid that is there that's not on this list,
Mhm.
that's where the closing attendance comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So this
So
will be
scroll up
yeah.
because you can only submit open attendance or closing attendance at a time. You can submit
Okay,
both,
I see. This
right?
is open
So if you
attendance.
click closing attendance now,
Mhm.
see how it automatically jumps to next? Yep.
Yeah.
Go to next. Now you enter in the recap. So this is where
Oh.
you enter in any of the students that were there that weren't in or whatever that weren't on the list. This is where you enter that picture of it closing off, like the end of the end of the session picture, right? And you put in the recap of how that session went
Mm-hmm.
because you just asked for the order to see what that looks like for the DOE, and I'm going to show you exactly how that works. I'm very transparent.
Mm-hmm.
In order to get the invoice done, you have to make sure that you send the attendance attached,
Okay.
right? The
Oh,
attendance and the scope of work.
Mm-hmm.
What I make sure that I do is that I get the attendance so meticulously done. Like, you know how annoying it is to deal with handwritten and
It
have to
is.
transfer this and try to understand that. Why?
That's
Well, why?
yeah.
Not doing all of that. No. So I make it really easy for myself, but I make it really easy for my staff to
Mhm.
be able to do that properly this way. And if we do this properly at the end of every session, that you don't wait 2 hours, you don't wait 10 days, right? At
Yeah.
the end of the session, you do a closing and you recap what it was, simple and done, right?
Yeah.
Send that. Once they send that, I can then invoice the same day.
Yeah.
oh,
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Makes
So
sense.
Rather than wait weeks, rather than wait months, I can invoice the same day. So think about this now at a matter of scale. You have multiple programs happening at multiple schools, happening at multiple days.
Mhm.
They're all following this process.
Mhm.
Every time a session gets done, an invoice gets generated
yes.
because the invoice itself takes net 30
Mhm.
at times, right? So if you've done this right, that means now after the first 30 days of it,
Mhm.
every week you should be getting something at the same time sending something.
Mhm.
Uh, so do we have to how do we take attendance from this part?
So attendance would be this is when a session is happening, right?
Mhm.
If it's in person thing, then the person is taking their phone and they're recording while they're Alex, go back.
Go back, yeah.
No, you can just hit back. Yep. Hit open attendance.
So we just
So
have to
yeah, you just have to hit record, like open the video on your phone, and
Okay.
as you're recording, scroll down. Scroll down, Alex. As you're recording, all you're doing is checking off the kids' names as they say it.
Oh. Okay.
So just just like in school, take attendance.
That's it. That's it. Again,
Live.
you see what I said, Alex? You see what I said? You see how you just said, oh.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, nothing changed, right? It's been the exact same way from you open the form.
yeah. It's like you do it live. You have the proof from the videos that everybody was here.
Yeah.
They say the name.
Okay? So that's the conversation that has to happen with Isabel now come Monday because she just wants clarification because no one does this way, not in this way.
Okay. Interesting. Got it.
You know what I'm saying? And as an innovation consultant, as an innovation engineer, my job is to see where there's gaps and fix it. I don't need to go through the same struggles. Why?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I agree with you. So, question for you again. Alana or Elana. So this is and Greg. These
Yeah. Elena and Greg, they're with their notes in motion. Look and come out this for you as well, right? Pay close attention to domain extensions.
Mhm.
So
Pay close attention because
definitely.
you want to see, you look at the difference between .com and .org.
Yeah.
Look at pay close attention because it gives you immediate insight who you're talking to and where that conversation has to maintain. If you're talking to a .org, remember, you may be talking about nonprofit activations. So there's certain things that you can ask, cannot ask, can say, cannot say. Does that make sense?
yes. So we have to look the domain like the .org, .com, .co.
You guys are gonna be precision beast by the time this semester is done if you pay attention to the things that we put in front of you.
Okay.
So I got the better understanding of the email. So she Shariqua.
Shariqua.
She's from.
She's the school. She's with Phipps Foundation. Phipps is a CBO, community business organization, right? And they're the ones that contracted Leaders Are Born to work in this school. We're working under their MTAC contract, multiple transaction, something, right? Multiple task award contract, right? So with the DOE, Department of Education,
Yeah.
you know, you're capped as a vendor. You're capped at 25K per school.
Mhm.
So your MWBE, your minority women business, or your MBE, minority black business, black entrepreneur, like those give you an additional 25K, so you can go up to 50. But your MTAC award allows you to go up to 100K per school.
Mhm.
And what that has to submit the MTAC. We're the ones that have to submit the bid, and the school has to accept the bid,
Mhm.
right? So what I did over the years was build up enough of lab programming so schools can see where two things. One, multi-year contracts make sense. If we go to school at sixth grade, we should be doing sixth, seventh, and grade programming, right? If I go to school at sixth grade or eighth grade, we should be doing programming from when they're in sixth grade, that when they get to seventh grade, it advances. When they get to eighth grade, it advances. Make sense? That when they get to high school, it advances, it advances, it advances. That's what should be programming. And so that's how I built the programs. Enough where as we get introduced to more schools, there'll be more opportunities for them for MTAC requests to come in, because schools are going to want multiple programs.
Okay.
Especially because at the price points that we're keeping them is, very, very competitive.
Okay.
Not everything is going to be 20,000, 22,000, 35,000. Some are going to be 7,500, going to be 12,000, right? We have to be able to do that based on the school's budget. And Alex, that's where again these conversations come in. And you're having a conversation with the school along lines of scheduling and programming and kind of doing needs analysis. That's what the discovery call is practice for, right? A needs analysis of what they're looking for. You get to see what it is that you can get based on the budget that they have, right? And getting practice in having that budget conversation, getting practice in having that money conversation is what I want each of you to be able to do as well. Because you're speaking about things that hold value, and I want you to get in the practice of speaking about things as with value. This way you get in the practice of speaking with yourself and as yourself and about yourself with value. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Mhm.
I think I have a few more.
I'll give you a really quick analogy because we're at 12:01. So
Oh yeah, definitely.
We're supposed to keep this an hour, right? So, one of my roles was I was director of sales at the Financial Times, right? And it was the publication was a 3 times a week newsletter that 5-minute read, 3 to 5-minute read, and it was directed at CEOs and directors of life insurance, annuity, hedge fund, insurance organizations, right? Because it was a corporate subscription that would go out to their employees. So, you tens of employees, hundreds of employees, thousands of employees, right? And it was my role to sell that subscription to them, right? So, no, the subscription itself is anywhere from 10,000 a month to
10,000 a month.
10,000 a month. Again, it's a corporate subscription.
All corporate
You
subscription.
gotta remember, there's companies with hundreds of employees.
Yeah,
remember I said freemium. Everything has to be paid for.
Yeah.
Right. So if you have 1,000 employees, 10,000
definitely.
employees. You understand what I'm saying?
I thought it was personal
Right?
for individual. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, no. Right. So, and the information on there, it moves industries, right? But it's only a 3 to 5 minute read. So I say this as an example that I have, and I had information, and I still have access to it. I still get it. I mean, right? But the information itself was valued at 100,000 a year,
Oh,
easily,
ish.
right? Easily,
Mhm.
easily. 10,000 a month is less than 100,000 a year,
Definitely.
right? Because it's 120,
Mhm.
right? So that is the information that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not the owner of a hedge fund. I wasn't the owner of a annuity company. I wasn't the owner of life insurance,
Mhm.
right? Right. So I had that information, but what was it worth to me?
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying, Kung Tao?
Mm-hmm. So
The only value that information had to me was if I was able to put it in front of others that could take advantage of it.
Yep.
You understand?
Mhm.
And that's for you guys to understand where your value comes in.
Mhm.
You may not be able to do something. You may not be able to hold that thing, right? You may not even be the producer of that thing,
Mhm.
but your ability to connect others to that thing is just as good as creating it for them, at least, because otherwise they may have never gotten it.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
yes.
They'll thank you for it, even though you didn't have a editor's credit in a word. You know what I mean? Like there's many times I'm reading it and I'm like, wait, no, we can't publish it yet. You gotta look at that. Like, oh wow, okay, great, right? But you only get that access, which is that's high level access.
Mhm.
That's high level access for you to be able to send an editor, hey, you missed something.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
So that's why you guys have the roles that you guys have. We had a producer, moderator, host, wrangler. And one thing I'll touch in on is that you guys haven't seen much about UEF yet. We'll talk more about that as we go in. You'll get some more introductions to that. But UEF is the esports
Yeah, but
side, right? It's how we operate the P&Ls, because the P&Ls are run as chapters. Your lab runs as a branch,
Mhm.
and each branch has a UEF chapter.
okay.
Make sense?
Makes sense.
Because that chapter allows you to get a whole lot of other things done. But it's so just there's one additional role that gets added to that hierarchy with the host, producer, and actually not one. Like there's tournament organizer and OBS editor,
Mhm.
right? And they're the ones that are more in charge of the UEF side of things, which is where Rich was really gonna go, but he had some overwhelming things going on, so he couldn't continue the way you guys are right now.
Definitely it's not
So
easy, but yeah. So Neville,
Yes.
for more, I have so many questions left, but time is almost up. And
Well, hold
next week,
on 1 second.
Mhm.
Hold on, let me 1 second. Let me just check something. Because I don't you have to go. I have some time. I'm working on some things right now.
Mhm.
Today's catch for me. So if you want to just go through some more questions, I can do that. If you
No,
have to go, then we can reschedule something.
yeah, I have
Oh.
another meeting after that. So next week, I'm
Okay.
going to schedule another meeting with you because, as I said, I got so many more questions. Why there's so much thing going on inside of lab that so many branches, like it's like a maze. I'm trying to get through everything.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Mhm.
And
Well, and the part of that is, again, so the best way I can explain that is you walked into an organization. There's multiple departments.
Mhm.
There's a parent company with multiple subsidiaries.
Yeah,
There's different partners that are operating and activating at different points in time, right? We're sitting here right now in this conference room.
Mhm.
This space that we're in holds up to 50 people. At any point in time, several others can be in other points of this space
Mhm.
doing their own thing. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
yes.
So
Separately from what we're talking about. We're talking about a school program in the Bronx. There's another one talking about a school program in Brooklyn. There's another one talking about a hospital program in Queens.
so makes sense. So I'm
Make
going to the
sense?
point. Yeah. Would you want us to have like a high level overview of everything or a specific view of, like, let's say a certain part of the organization? That's two different views.
So that's a beautifully phrased question. So you start very granular,
Mhm.
right, with a very specific view,
Mm-hmm.
but you're given the opportunity to access a high level view by
Oh.
clicking links and requesting access to the documents and things that that are shared with you.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it only gets as confusing as information you have access to.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to stay at a certain level, you know what your role is, you know what your checkpoints are, you know what your things are, then you don't click on anything above and beyond that, and we don't give you anything above and beyond that because we know you didn't request access to it.
Mm-hmm.
How can we give you information about stuff you don't know?
You can't.
Make sense?
Right.
Yes.
So it can seem overwhelming, and especially with because and a good example is the Slack. If you that's the Kung Tao. The reason that it's done that way is because ultimately you're going to lose access to a lot of those channels. You're only going to see the things that pertain to the role that you're in, right? And then you'll gain access to the additional channels the same way you gain access to additional documents, to additional things, so forth and so on.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm showing you in the very beginning, in the building stage of it, is where everything is, how everything is, and how there's a very real front end and a very real back end. So when you walk into that door, someone coming in 3 weeks from now, when they come into a Slack, they're gonna see 3 channels.
Oh, okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're gonna see 3 channels, and it may take them 3 years to see all the channels.
Yeah. Got it now.
Make sense?
Makes sense.
Doesn't mean that those channels aren't operating every day without their knowledge.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
So when you think about, okay, there's a lot of moving pieces, there's a lot of things going on, you're absolutely right. But there's a lot of people in the world, and they're all doing different things at different times, sometimes the same time, without your knowledge.
Yeah, I like that. I like.
Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. So
Cool.
So we have to what he mentioned about the Slack, about the channels. Like, do we all have to utilize all the channels in there?
You're gonna just get familiar with the channels as you have access to them, right? Because right now you all have access to them. Come next week, you're going to have a channel list, and you're gonna be requesting access based on your role, right? Right now, you all have an opportunity to see what those channels are on the back end from an administration side. Excuse me, because I want you guys to see all of what it takes to run operations,
Okay.
right? Remember, this is a business course, right? It's how to run a business. So you have to cover all your bases.
Yes.
Does that make sense? So think about, like, when it's like, oh, there's a lot of moving pieces. If you want a business to run smooth, you got to make sure a lot of things are happening simultaneously, seamlessly. Make sense?
Yes.
So
sense.
some of the thing, and I'll close off with this, but Slack, why it's great. So let me just give you quick insights, right? I want you guys, again, you do tutorials, read about these programs, look at them, practice them. Slack gives notifications that integrate with Jotform, Calendly, Gmail, forth and so on, right? So as a Jotform comes in, Jotform integrations with Gmail and integrations with Google, right? So as a Jotform comes in, the PDF is already created and it gets sent to a drive directed for that person, right? It's sent to an email and a drive directed for that person at the front, okay? From that, say at the same time when that form gets completed, it gets sent to a Slack channel for operations, depending on where and what that form came in for, right? So whoever needs to follow up to make sure that whole thing, whether it's attendees, whether it's referrals, whatever it is, it gets sent to that channel, and whoever's on that channel or in charge of those channels now have to make sure that they've done whatever reach out or whatever follow up or whatever action is required for that particular form, right? There should be no form or no communication that comes in and 12 to 24 hours have passed that communication has not gone out. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
Cool. So you'll have access. You guys have access to the spreadsheets as the forms come in. So a lot of it is locked, which you'll see when you're on that spreadsheet. But again, you gain access to certain things as you require access to them. So if it's if you're the recruiter, you're on the real estate side of it, and you have a bunch of applicants that came in, then you're going to be the one that is now making sure you have access to that particular spreadsheet so you can do what you need to do should you need to move anything, edit anything, so forth and so on, right? This is what allows for, Alex, what you were talking about, all of the confusion to be not confusing.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like when you go into a spreadsheet and you see 18 tabs, let's just you see 10 tabs on a spreadsheet, that's a lot, right?
Yep.
But if only 2 tabs are for you, you know it's your office and the bathroom. Everybody else, those are other offices. Those are other offices. Like it shouldn't be confused. You shouldn't be overwhelmed walking into a hallway.
Yeah, definitely.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's how I want your perspective to be when it kind of seems like, a lot of things are being thrown at you. If you're just walking into a hallway, then let those things be thrown at you. They may not pertain to you right now. You're not ready for that door yet, so it shouldn't overwhelm you that it's there.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool.
So
Cool. That said, I know you have a meeting you got to get to. Kung Tao, did I answer all your questions?
Yes, I just want to get like something like of everything that we have to learn how to use this platform and also learn like how to organize like these events based on the like efficiency of using these tools, because I just saw like multiple platforms, so I still trying to like get familiar with these.
Yep. And that's what I was talking about each role, right? Each role, there's going to be different platforms that each role has that's going to be required for them, right? So like let's read just for a quick example, right? Whoever is the finance person, right? They're going to get QuickBooks. The marketing person doesn't need QuickBooks. You understand what I'm saying?
sorry to focus you, but I gotta leave right now.
I know you gotta go. You gotta go. I'm answering Kung
Talk to
Tao's
you later,
question.
right?
Great talking to you.